Well, I guess I should stay. I don't know if it's the best choice, but... Oh well, he is the Huntsman after all. I think I deserve to rest. Wolves? They broke in. No. Huntsman. Lenora was dragged into the woods and mauled by the wolves. The Huntsman returned from hunting the alpha, only to find her mangled corpse abandoned in the middle of the deep forest. Upon delivering the news of Lenora's passing to her grieving mother, he decided to settle in the village permanently, taking over as the hunter of Pokeweed. The Huntsman protected the village as valiantly as he could, but the attacks became too numerous for one man to handle. One day, the Huntsman disappeared from the village entirely. The villagers wondered if he had been overcome by wolves himself. Without Lenora or the Huntsman, the village continued to suffer wolf attacks and killings. Soon enough, Pokeweed Hollow was wiped out entirely and remained forgotten forevermore. Ending C. Abandoned. Well, that's depressing. Alright then. He's right. He has to be. The Huntsman has always helped the village, helped me. How could he be some kind of ridiculous beast? That wolf tried to lie to me, and I was almost stupid enough to fall in its trap. Lenora decided that Abel the alpha wolf must have been lying and stayed in the Huntsman's cabin for the night. As everyone had told her, wolves truly would do anything to save their hides, and that included the cunning trickery the alpha wolf had tried to pull on her. As he had promised, the Huntsman left to kill Abel the following day, and after a few long hours, he arrived on the cabin's doorstep, the wolf's head in his hands. He and Lenora returned to Pokeweed Hollow, and the Huntsman paraded the wolf's head around for all to see. With Lenora's promising aptitude for hunting, she became the Huntsman's apprentice. Over the next few years, the two of them hunted the rest of the wolves until they were all wiped out. With the village safe now that the wolves were dead, the Huntsman convinced Lenora to travel with him and visit other villages that suffered from wolf attacks. The two of them became well known for their hunting, and as the years went by, they continued to hunt all of the wolves in the land until none were left at all. People soon began to ask them to cure the villages of bears, wild boars, and even foxes preying on hens, and as long as the pay was good, the Huntsman happily obliged. As successful and prosperous as her new life was, Lenora still couldn't help but think about the alpha wolf's words from that fateful night many years ago. As evil as the beast had been, something about its final words tugged at her heart. But it had just been a trick, right? It had just been a pathetic attempt to avoid its fate, right? She just knew she had made the right choice. Hadn't she? Ending A. Apprentice. What? I thought the hunter was a psychopath that wanted to kill everybody. Unless this is like a crazy, good alternate universe. Okay then. Yes, it's just a wild animal after all. It's terrorized my village and eaten the Huntsman. I must kill it. I need to use that finishing blow and put it out of its misery. Lenora stood above the alpha wolf's corpse, her axe dripping with blood. The hunt had been much easier than she thought it'd be. But then again, she was lucky that the beast had been wounded greatly by the late brave Huntsman. She returned to the village with a wolf's head in her hands, and the villagers were overcome with joy at her triumph, and sadness at the Huntsman's passing. The wolf's head was mounted in the Baron's home, becoming a decoration on his mantelpiece. With its death, the wolf attacks lessened tremendously. Since the Huntsman had died, Lenora became the sole guardian huntress of Pokeweed Hollow. She took numerous hunting lessons from Miss Stonecrop and worked tirelessly to protect her home. But the wolves' attacks, though much less frequent, never actually stopped like the Huntsman told her they would. After a few years, Lenora became too exhausted to fight them off. With their guardian out of commission, the villagers had no choice. They abandoned the hollow and began looking for a new place to call home. After they left, the village remained forgotten and abandoned until the forest swallowed it whole. Okay, you know, Lenora, you're a pretty impressive huntress. I even considered letting you in on my plan once I killed my brother. Oh well, you're not that special anyway. I'll make sure to haul your corpse to town when I'm through with you. Your mother should see your girl one last time before she dies. Despite her best efforts, Cayne overpowered Lenora, leaving her body slumped on his cabin floor. The monster lumbered off, axe in his clutches. Cayne went on to kill his brother, and soon wiped out all of the wolves in the forest. The villagers were not safe from his bloodthirsty maulings either. One by one, the villagers of Pokeweed Hollow were brutally cut down by the rampaging beast. No one was spared. Left alone to do as he pleased, Cayne's madness and blackened heart led him to rampage throughout the land. Many hunters rallied in an attempt to kill him, but he crushed them as he had Lenora. Soon the entire countryside was littered with bones and shallow graves. Ending D, Cayne. Alright. I think that was all of them. So, time for the bonus room. I'm gonna start with you, person whose name I forgot. Theodosia? Sweetspire. Theodosia comes from a long line of doctors and resents it greatly. She may get annoyed easily at the other villagers, but she does take her role very seriously. Alright then. Butcher. Albert's the village butcher and taxidermist, and is very proud of it. He gossips about everyone in the village all the time, but is oblivious to the fact that he's not very sneaky. Aw, you're a gossip boy. Huntsman. The Huntsman is the only man brave enough to live deep in the woods. After coming to Pokeweed, he quickly became a household name. He even helped little Lenora recover from a nasty wasp sting. Aw. Avel. Avel grew up alongside Cayne and became alpha of the pack. He has no qualms killing his brother if needed be, though deep inside he can't bring himself to do it with his own hands. You're just a big softie. Kinda. Cayne. Ever since Cayne was a pup, he wished he could wield the power humans could. His desire was so great it warped his mind, and he began killing his family to try to become what he coveted? I don't get it. What power did humans have? Moving on. Esther Lopseed. Esther keeps about 4 rabbits as pets, and her favorite is named Bobbit. The farthest she's ever left the village is the edge of Buttonbush Woods. Like her rabbits, she's very scared of wolves. Great. Matter. Joshua Matter. Joshua actually prefers the nighttime when everyone's asleep. He's considered the town eccentric, but he really just prefers to be alone. He envies Grandma Clement's sweet real estate. Oh. Yeah, Grandma has a pretty nice house, I guess. Dash! No flaws. Dash is half wolf, and though he's a young puppy, he's a loyal guard dog. of all the villagers. His favorite thing is to zip around town so everyone gets a chance to pet him. Aw. Lulabelle Dogwood. Lulabelle owns the village mutt, Dash, and loves being outdoors more than anything else. She truly believes harmony can exist between animals and humans. That's great. Baron Benjamin Bearberry. Back when his wife Abigail was alive, Bearberry would let her pretty much run the village. Without her, he tries his best to be even keel with all of the villagers, but loses control a lot. Really? Oh no, not the bad kind of control, just the freak-out control. Alright. Lenora Calamint. Lenora must grow up fast if she wants to save the village, and that means taking on the world and learning right from wrong. Miss Stonecrop is her idol and mentor. And Abel is her boyfriend. Not really. Okay. Patience Calamint. Patience, while concerned for Lenora's safety, knows that she mustn't coddle her child forever. Josephine Stonecrop is her closest friend and sole confidant. They're practically sisters. Grandma! Eleanor Grandma Calamint. Grandma Calamint was an adventurer as a young woman, and often charged headfirst into dangerous situations. While she is wise, she's crazy enough to give her granddaughter an axe without question. Yep. Josephine Stonecrop. Josephine is Lenora's godmother. She was a huntress when she was younger, but begrudgingly gave it up when the Huntsman came to Pokeweed. She does enjoy smithing, but misses the outdoors. You're 40. I thought you were like 20-something. Charles Kohosh. Charles is one of the few people who regularly leaves the village to trade. He's a fair merchant and is well liked, but he's too cheap to hire a mercenary whenever he travels. Aw, Mr. Kohosh is great. Well, that was Huntress in the Hollow. The Huntress in the Hollow? Yeah. I like this game a lot, but I'm really bad at talking about games, so I'm gonna abruptly end this now. Bye-bye.